Why web security is so crucial in our digital age. In the vast expanse of the internet, web security is like the armor that shields our personal and professional data from potential threats. It's not just about protecting information, it's about maintaining trust, credibility, and peace of mind. Now let's talk about the OWASP Top 10. These are the most critical web application security risks that everyone should be aware of. Let's dive into the details of each of these risks. Number 1 on the OWASP list is broken access control. This refers to the failure of restricting what authenticated users are allowed to do. It's like having a security guard who lets you into the building, but then doesn't keep track of which rooms you're allowed to enter. Consequences can be severe, from unauthorized data access to full-blown data manipulation. Next, we have cryptographic failures. This is when sensitive data isn't properly encrypted or when weak encryption algorithms are used. Think of it as leaving your secret diary out in the open or using a predictable 1234 as the lock combination. The result? Your secrets can be easily read by anyone who stumbles upon them. Third on the list is injection. This refers to the introduction of malicious data into a system, often through input fields on a website. It's akin to someone slipping a harmful substance into your drink when you're not looking. The effects can range from data theft to complete system takeover. Insecure design comes in at number 4. This is when security isn't considered from the start of a project and is only tacked on at the end, if at all. Imagine building a house but forgetting to add doors until after it's built. You'd end up with some pretty significant gaps in your security. Lastly for today, we have security misconfiguration. This can happen when default configurations aren't changed, unnecessary features are left enabled, or when updates aren't applied. It's like buying a high-tech security system but leaving it set to factory settings. The result? Hackers can easily bypass your defenses. These are just half of the OWASP Top 10, but they already highlight the complexity of web security. Continuing with our list, next up is vulnerable and outdated components. Think of these as the old rusty parts in a machine. They may still work, but they're not as efficient or secure as they should be. Components become outdated over time and newer, more secure versions are released. If these aren't updated, they become weak points, ripe for exploitation. Moving on, we have identification and authentication failures. These occur when a system can't accurately verify the identity of a user. Imagine going into a secure building, but the security guard doesn't check your ID. That's a big no-no in the digital world too. Poor identification and authentication systems can allow unauthorized users like cybercriminals to gain access to sensitive data. Then, there are software and data integrity failures. This is when the integrity of software or data is compromised, meaning it's been altered in an unauthorized way. It's akin to finding a paragraph in a book you've written that you didn't write. Scary, right? This can lead to serious issues, such as data breaches or the spread of malicious software. Next in line, we have security logging and monitoring failures. Logs are like security cameras for your system. They record what happens, who does what, and when. If these logs aren't properly maintained or monitored, suspicious activity might go unnoticed, giving attackers more time to cause damage. Last, but certainly not least, is server-side request forgery. This is a bit like a ventriloquist act, where an attacker tricks the server into making requests on their behalf. It's a clever, yet dangerous way to gain unauthorized access to data and systems. And that rounds up the OWASP Top 10, the most critical web application security risks. Now that we've covered the OWASP Top 10, let's summarize the key points. It's crucial to remember the importance of proper access control, the potential pitfalls of cryptographic failures, and the dangers of injection. Never overlook insecure design, security misconfigurations, or outdated components. Be aware of identification and authentication failures, software and data integrity issues, and the necessity for effective security logging and monitoring. Don't forget the risk of server-side request forgery. Remember, understanding and addressing these risks are vital steps towards a more secure web environment.